Well, it's Monday again. We're going to continue into our in our Select 30 series spotlight. I'm excited today to share with you some of these great oils. I had a great time. Ironically, these are oils I'm pretty familiar with, but it's always fun to kind of like relearn or remind yourself. There were some things I was like, oh yeah, I remember reading about that, but I had totally forgotten to use it in that way. So I'm hoping that there'll be some new things that you can learn, some interesting ways that you can use these things. And maybe these are oils you already have, or maybe not. And as a reminder, the Select 30 is a kit of 30 oils that Young Living sells. You can just type Select 30 into the search bar at youngliving.com and you can see it comes with a carrying case, and it has a 30 of Young Living's most popular oils in the kit. What's cool about it is it would be something that you could easily save up loyalty rewards points for and redeem loyalty rewards points to get this for your use. So we just thought, well, if these are 30 of Young Living's most popular oils, then we probably want to talk about them and learn about them and do a deeper dive in them. And then also just continue to remind you that this is something you could use your points for. So first up on tonight's class is energy. Energy in its name, right there, offers an invigorating aroma. I love this one. Put this one on. I mean, the juniper in it, I don't love, but I love its effects. So it doesn't bother me enough to not use it. Energy is a blend that offers a bit kind of a boosting aroma, has a stimulating, like spicy type pine fragrance. And it really just, whew, okay, I'm here, I'm with it. It can be combined with clarity and diffused for long drives. It can be just by itself. People also talk about energy and peppermint together, that those make a great kind of awakening pep with your step type experience when you're diffusing it. So if you got one of those car diffusers, you could give yourself a boost on a long drive and help maybe in some of the slumps, or as the sun sets and you're starting to feel the effects of being tired. This would be a great oil to have with you in the car. Gary himself, there was one year where there were some slides about kind of some of the specific protocols that Gary Young himself did, and energy was one that he would put up his spine along with motivation on his feet in order to kind of like get going, get moving, get with the program, get ready for the day. It has rosemary, juniper, lemongrass, nutmeg, balsam fir, clove, and black pepper. And each of those individual oils have like really unique things and really unique aspects of why they're really good for invigorating and things like that. But we don't have time to dive into each of those individually, but just know when you combine them together, you're getting that energizing effect. So another consideration, diffusing this during late night study sessions. A lot of kids are going back to school, college kids, sometimes some college kids might be experiencing college away for the first time. This would be a great one for some of those late night study sessions when you're cramming for exams, or you're trying to figure out how to do your life in a new city, in a new town. It really good for, strenuous events. Good for getting in that afternoon slump. I use energy almost daily with one of my kids who, when it's his turn to do homeschooling, it's usually kind of in the afternoon when he doesn't love math, doesn't love school in general, but will sometimes feel but now I'm just so tired. And so I've taken to using energy and cedarwood combined on him to help with focus and his attentiveness. And it's really, he now asks for it on a pretty regular basis. So it's really good for that. But you could put it, when I use it on him, I put it in the back of his neck. You can combine it with V6 massage oil or any sort of carrier oil if you want to spread further. You can put it on your temples, on your feet, on the back of the neck, or some people like to apply it right in the middle of the back, right about where you would find the kidneys and adrenal glands, to kind of help boost that. As we always do when I'm talking about some of these individual oils, I'll talk about what the emotion associated with it. And again, this comes from our book, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. Something, I don't have it right here in front of me, but it's got one of those odd names. We talk about it a lot. If you're interested, just leave a comment. We'll tell you where you can find it. But the emotion associated with energy is isolation, which is pretty interesting considering the last few years. And people, maybe even if you've discovered about yourself that maybe you're a person who tends towards isolation, that this might be an oil that you want to explore a little more. The other side of isolation is connection. And the way out is I am integrated. Now, I haven't often talked about the alarm point. So in this book, she kind of note, and some of that's because it's hard to describe where some of these spots are. It's better to look at a chart and be like, oh, okay, I can see where that is. But if you were specifically wanting to use it for this emotion, you would say, you would think about the other side of being isolated is connection, and I am integrated. And the alarm point is the yeast umbilicus, which is basically your belly button, as the name might imply. So you could put energy right there in your belly button. Say I am integrated. Think about being connected to people and connected to the world and connected to your community and all of those things. So that is energy. It's kind of a wave top of energy. Love this one. We use it often here in our house. Next up, I want to do the blend, the other E blend here, Endoflex. Now, this is a favorite among many in our group. It has a very minty, the spearmint minty smell in it to me. It's not off-putting in any way, shape, or form. Endoflex, as you can hear in its name, is for supporting the endocrine system. And the endocrine system, let's go back to health class from school. The endocrine system is responsible for telling your body what hormones to produce and then when to produce them. So the endocrine system regulates your metabolism, your body's growth and development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. Endoflex Vitality can help support your endocrine system when taken internally as a daily supplement. So several of the oils we'll talk about, the next 3 oils we'll talk about, are also all available as a vitality, Endoflex being one of those. And so some people will take this regularly in capsules on a regular basis. When taken internally, it helps support your thyroid, your metabolism, your energy. And in addition to all of that, it can benefit libido as a part of a total package of hormonal balance and wellness. So, I mean, that's a pretty great, it's a pretty great package, a punch it packs. So one of the key things, one thing that you might not be thinking about, and it also kind of coincides with one of the reasons why I added grapefruit into this discussion and lumped Endoflex and grapefruit together. Metabolism, as you know, is the rate at which your body is burning calories or burning through what you're consuming. Some women are having to have a hard time losing weight or figuring out metabolism. Might benefit from where their hormone levels currently are. Same with sleep and your adrenals. And one way that you can support those systems and the proper functioning of those systems is applying Endoflex daily over adrenals, what we just talked about with energy, over the adrenals, or daily over, some people like to put it right here in their throat near their thyroid. It's really great for supporting that endocrine health. And some of the ways that, if you think about endocrine vitality, if you're taking them internally, some people like to say they take 3 or 4 drops of Endoflex in a capsule daily. Some of the ways to think about how that could benefit you, balancing your hormone levels, helping with the symptoms that come along in your monthly cycle, if you're a woman, improving energy levels. There we are talking about energy, and now we're talking about also another way that you can support healthy energy, and improving metabolic function. You could always pop a roller filament on top so that you could easily get it going, keep handy in your purse. for when things are going super fast. You can just pop it out, put it on, and keep going. Some people say they like to use it 1 or 2 drops over the thyroid every day before bed, and sometimes in the morning or afternoon as needed if they're feeling like a slump in energy or slump in other things. Often people find that they wake up easier and are more rested when they've applied it the night before. It's also one that has been mentioned as one that could be really great for hormonal boys, like preteen boys who are experiencing hormonal swings. Somebody also shared that Endoflex is a magical tantrum tamer. So we just talk about preteen boys. Now we're going to swing the pendulum all the way. And you can think about hormonal girls in the same way. Now we're going to go all the way down to the very, very youngest of us. Somebody shared a specific experience that they had heard about it as a tantrum tamer, and they hadn't really tried it out. They carry it for themselves for their own support of energy levels and hormone support. And so they always had it in their purse, and somebody's child that they were meeting with was just like going off, like just having a complete toddler tantrum meltdown. And she said to her friend, hey, I recently like read this, and would it be okay if I just put a drop on the bottom of her foot and see how that affects what's going on? And she said that within less than a minute, he was back to normal. Or it's a boy, sorry. The baby was back to normal, even tempered, and moved right along. And so both of them, the mom and the one who had the oils, were both shocked. So that's a really great testimonial for Endoflex. I'm reminded once again, like, this is a really great oil that I don't use as much as I should. And I want to start incorporating this in a more regular way in my household. Just as a side note, if you're needing help supporting your thyroid, both an overactive or an underactive thyroid, if you want to support those in natural ways, Endoflex is really great for that. But Endoflex plus the supplement Thyromin would be where your real moneymaker is. And you can find more info about that over in Essential Ed. There's a few posts there about the use of both of these to get both Thyromin and this. Thyromin's a supplement. The emotion, here's how we'll close this out. The emotion associated with it is denial. The other side is acceptance. And the way out is I acknowledge. The alarm point is vision, the vision alarm point, which is right here on your temples. So if you're in denial about things, or if you need to come to grips with some things, you can say, I acknowledge, as you rub Endoflex here on your alarm point at your temples. So that is Endoflex. Next up, we have grapefruit. Now, as with all citrus oils, I feel like I need to remind you that it is photosensitive. So we need to be careful about applying this and then stepping out into the bright, hot sun that we're all experiencing in the summertime. So please, as I share some of the different ways and uses, think about that in terms of photosensitivity. It is great. It is a great one to put in your water if you're somebody who has a hard time remembering to drink water. This is a great one to add a couple drops to ice cubes and fill on up. And it just adds such a bright and colorful flavor. It smells so, so good. It smells so amazing. It's one of my favorite smells. I love to add grapefruit to all kinds of different diffuser blends. It goes really great with other citrus oils, of course, but all kinds of things. It's such a good one. Love grapefruit. It is like all citrus oils, and we'll talk some about this with Citrus Fresh. It's kind of a mood booster. But one of the things I love about grapefruit, the first time I got it years and years ago, I opened it and I smelled it, and it smelled so, so good that I put it, it was like probably 9, I think, for whatever reason, by the time the kids had gone to bed and we'd opened our boxes up or opened the mail, whatever, and I finally had the chance to sit down and look at my stuff, I opened grapefruit and it smells so amazing that I immediately put it in some water and put some LaCroix or bubble water or something, club soda on top of it, and drink it right away. And so, like I said, it's in the evening. About 30 or 40 minutes later, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to eat something right now. It just drove my metabolism into like high gear. So this is one I always recommend people add maybe to a glass of water right before you sit down to a meal, before you sit down to eat something. It'll kind of help your body digest it and help you be well hydrated. It is also, grapefruit is really good for your skin. Again, keep in mind that sensitivity. It's really supportive of just all, this would be a really good one to add your moisturizer, your lotion, and it smells so good too. And the citrus will help kind of be calming for you as you're getting ready for a bedtime routine. But again, photosensitivity, do this as a nighttime routine. It just really helps keep the skin tightened and moisturized and looking fresh and young. And so you don't want to be without that experience and that look. So this is another great way to use grapefruit. It is just a good one to have for just smelling great. So something to put in a cotton ball, put in your air conditioner vent or cotton ball, and put it in your linens or your underwear drawer or something like that. And you'll reap the benefits of that. For sure. One testimonial I wanted to share was that they had heard a doctor say to apply 8 drops of grapefruit to the abdomen first thing in the morning to get the body moving. An interesting idea, both for energy and for metabolism and boosting of your body's energy and productive energy. Of course, don't expose it to sun, because it will burn. So this might be like a winter time, maybe when we're all bundled up a little bit better and we're not going to accidentally forget that we did that 6 hours ago and now we're going back out in the sun. But wintertime, when we are we're not as active, we're not out sweating and everything as much and boosting our metabolism in and of its own right, maybe that's a consideration for grapefruit in the wintertime. A little bit of a sunshine in a bottle in some ways. That's really my citrus fresh thought. But the emotion associated with it is distress. I just dropped it. I was going to pick it up one more time. Is distress. The other side is grateful, and the way out is I accept. The alarm point is called Heartstrings, which I'm just going to describe to you. It's about it's 2 points that are on both sides of your abdomen, parallel with the ground, about 3 ribs down. So if you start here at your collarbone, go about 3 ribs down, and it's about 2 points right here. So if you're struggling with distress and you need grateful, I accept, right here at your heartstrings. Last but not least is citrus fresh. Citrus oils have been proven to be mood boosters. We talk about this often. That's why we call it sunshine in a bottle. It packs a citrus punch. Obviously, it's a blend of orange, tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, mandarin, and a little hint of spearmint. This is a great one for purifying the air. It's a great one. Think about having maybe even a citrus bath. Grab some Epsom salts and some citrus fresh. Soak your troubles away. If you love to work out, this is a perfect one to add to drinks. Makes you drink more water. Again, citrus oils help tighten the skin. Add that to your moisturizer, your nighttime routine. Keep a glowing skin all going strong. Citrus Fresh and Grapefruit both had some really good links to Young Living's blog of ways that you could make, like scrubbing salts and other things. Citrus Fresh promotes feelings of happiness and comfort. And interestingly, in the desk reference, talked about Citrus Fresh stimulates the right brain to amplify creativity and well-being and to eradicate anxiety, and it works well as an air purifier. So you're getting the benefits of fresh air and these great smells of citrus smell, which like who doesn't like that? But you're also getting the stimulation for creativity and well-being and mood boosting and all those things. So this is a great one that people love to add to cleaners. People love to add these wool dryer balls. If you don't have dryer balls, you can always take a wet wash rag and put 6 or 8 drops on it and throw that in with your clothes for the last 15 minutes of the cycle. And that will kind of infuse the whole smell too. We don't want those dryer sheets. Get rid of those. Sorry, my throat. The emotion associated is not wanting to be here. Excuse me. I've had a bit of a head cold. The other side is being alive. And the way out is I love life. There you go. So hope you found a new use. I'm going to go for these great oils.